right. This is Life is Full of It. We're here with Adam and Declan.
My nipples are fucking...
Oh, yeah. I forgot to check the...
It's fucking so cold in here for me right now.
He's freezing.
I'm like at the bottom end of my wardrobe, so I ain't got no more sweats or anything, so I wear fucking
the bottom
shorts
of your
still.
wardrobe. Do your fucking laundry.
I just haven't done that. I got a million short sleeve
Do you know?
shirts and long
You
sleeve
know what we're
shirts.
going to talk about today? Is what I've been rambling to you about. Practice. We're going to talk practice. Do you know Iverson?
Are we really going to talk about...
Iverson?
Yeah.
But-
Allen Iverson?
Dude, how am I supposed to be sitting here, supposed to be the franchise? And we
We're
talk
talking
about
practice.
Not the game. Not a game. Not a game.
Practice.
Practice.
So, you don't know.
What I've been told.
Everyone else kind of been slowly knowing. I've been training as a wrestler for about a month or so,
Okay.
and it sucks.
I bet it does.
And
Do you feel better, though? Healthier?
my body hurts constantly.
I bet it does. I literally got my longboard for the first time in, like, months, and, like, one ligament in my fucking foot hurt like a motherfucker. So I can't imagine what running around, jumping.
So when I
Longboards are fun.
so I didn't give Adam too many. I complained to him my biggest thing right now, what we're going through. So far, I want to quit every day, every time. It's just a lot, and the biggest thing is I want to get to just wrestling. I want to be able to wrestle in the ring, and the place is CPW. The one I went to the last show to talk to people about joining, possibly. Everyone was super cool. I was totally down. So I was like, yeah, I'll start, soon. And it's only, I mean, I shouldn't say it's only, but $100 a month, whatever. But the more I talk to people, there's people there that are training. I'm like, oh man, how long you been here? And he's like, 2 years. And I'm like, fuck, 2 years and you're still not in the ring yet? Like, that's a lot. And like one dude I saw, he was a ref. He was reffing at the last event. I'm like, so you're roughing? Are you close? He's like, I still got more to learn. Very humble of him to be like that. There's there's a big etiquette there. You have to be cool with everybody. Everyone has to shake hands when you see each other. It's very different for me because I would honestly like to just sit in the corner, get to business. But I guess it is a good thing to kind of talk to everyone and just know people. And that's my problem is I've been wanting to get into a group, and this is what my therapist was like, you need to find something. I don't think he meant this, but find like a group to talk to and stuff. But so far I've only talked to a couple guys. I mean, I talked to everybody like hello, but I haven't talked to a lot of people. But so first day I get there, right? This is where I brought a lot into Adam, and I've been talking to everyone about it because I'm in a real bad crossroads right now. I was late because it was on the website, it was 7 to 9. So we had a plan around it. It's in Yuba City. It's an hour to get there and an hour to get back. So this is a lot, and a lot on Crystal too.
Yeah.
We get there and he's like, no, it's 6 to 8. And I'm like, there was nowhere I saw 6 to 8. So it was good. It was a fun little thing. We did, some wrestling drills in there. I sat out a lot of times because I had to watch, whatever. Then all these other times, they got cardio for the first part, basically. And holy shit, dude. I'm out of shape, but for me to get thrown into it, well, I'm throwing myself into it. For me to get thrown into it and doing this cardio is for me ridiculous. So like I explained some to Adam. So basically, first thing, they're like, all right, this is the day I thought I was gonna die. I was literally like, I'm done. That night my legs were throbbing like a heartbeat, how hard they were, and I couldn't sleep, how bad they hurt. But we ran. He's like, we did some jumping jacks, run around buildings. There are a lot of warehouses. That's how like they keep their ring in. By the way, the coolest thing ever is walking into a ring and bowing your head into the ropes and getting up. Just being in a ring is fucking cool. So that was a cool thing. I
Is
thought.
it springy? Did you get
Oh yeah, it's really springy.
Did you dunk?
No, I will not be able to dunk in there. But anyway, so hear this out. So get back, I'm dead from running. I'm dead. And it's all this is really hard for me because I'm in high school again. I'm the last guy, and it's very embarrassing. All the guys are probably in their 20s or so. I'm fucking 38, and I keep getting stuck in my head. Like, I don't know if I can fucking do
This is your fucking movie story, bro.
Well, it feels like it almost. So
Origin story.
late origin story, like one of those old timers,
Like the Rookie or whatever.
Yeah. So we get back, and then they're like, "Okay, we're gonna do these tumbling drills, right?" So these guys are putting their hands up. You put your hands down to the mat and you roll. And basically between, turnbuckle to turnbuckle, they're right by the rope. You do 2 rolls, go the other way. 2 rolls, go the other way. 2 rolls. So you're going in a square, but you're doing normally everyone's doing about 2, 4, 6, 8. And these dudes are flying through them. They're doing about in a minute about 22 of them, right? I let everyone go because I'm trying to think of how am I going to get through this, because I don't know how to fucking tumble. So I get in there. One dude runs out, fucking starts throwing up. The new guy's in the corner throwing his guts out. No, but the dude ran out, and that guy's really cool. He talks to me a lot. He was a ref for one of the shows, and he runs out and starts throwing up, and I'm like, "Fuck me, dude."
Do you think you'd have fun if they just said,
Wrestle?
"No, we're just gonna let you be a ref"?
Maybe.
I mean,
I would miss not being able to wrestle, but
sure, but that's basically as close as it gets, right?
So basically, I get in the ring and I tumble all fucking sloppy. I try to put my head down and go off my head. Then the dude, my trainer's like, "Dude, just roll. Just try to just roll your best." Out of a minute, I get like 8, maybe half-ass ones.
Oh.
But I'm like dead. I literally keep getting up seeing stars. And then they put chairs in each corner and then kind of move them in a little bit. So when they move them in a little bit, they want us to go between those, but we're going to slide our feet. And while we slide our feet, put our hands on our head. Holy fuck, dude. I'm dying. I don't, it seems very simple, but I guess I kept slowly dropping my hands off my head, and one guy kept hella yelling at me that was like, hands up, and I'm like, fuck.
Yes, Joe Sargent.
I'm like, fuck. No, he's just a dude that's been there forever. And that's the kind of
Let me see your war face.
Is there's a big camaraderie, sorry, between a lot of guys, and being the new guy is really rough.
It can't be easy.
Metal jacket.
And the first guy, or the first time I was there, I had 2 young kids with me that was their first day. And they're like, "Yeah, we're from South Sac." I was like, "Damn, that's a crazy drive." And we had to practice together, and it was nice because I had people to practice with. Now they're gone. They quit, I guess. Who knows? They might come back. People could come and go when they pay. It's just like a gym membership, they said. You come or you not come.
It's like CrossFit.
Sure, yeah.
Like you pay to go just do a set of exercises that are like a little bit atypical, that aren't like just lifting weights or something.
So when I think it's done and we're ready to get to wrestling, now we have to do where we drop on our back, and there's a way to get up. There's so many rules in wrestling that I didn't know. Like, there's hella technical rules. The wrestling get up is like, I think everything you do, you use your left hand. In luchador style, they said everything they do is right-handed. They call it the U.S. way and then the Mexican way or some shit like that. And you have to drop on your back. It's just like we were talking about earlier, how fast you have to pop up. Mm-hmm. Dude, I'm like moving in slow motion. It's me and 2 other guys in the ring. We're dropping on our back, and it's like, go. And then I'm like, barely pushing myself up, and you have to be in like fighting stance after that, like get ready to grapple. I just did horrible. And by the time I got out of that ring, out of those things, I was wobbly. I couldn't see straight. My cotton mouth, I couldn't talk.
Did you not bring water with you?
I brought water, but it just, my mom was saying you're just gassing yourself so much. You're breathing probably too much.
Start doing some extra cardio.
So
running.
Just breathe less.
Just start running or walking on your free time more.
So, well, what's hard is in between these times, I'm dead.
I know. So get your cardio up, and these have become a lot easier.
So I
what is your fucking?
So I that day was horrible, and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna go back. But luckily, the next day wasn't as bad, and so on. They didn't focus as much. There's running and shit like that, but we weren't doing all whatever. Like the tumbling day, they're like, whoever does the most gets to pick like a move for us to work on. The dude's like, how about the code breaker? And I'm like, yeah, you know. So it's nice to go in there and actually drop, but it does kind of suck when people try to correct you and all that. But you're doing the best you can.
You're learning still.
Right, but you think you know the code breaker after watching it so much. But I think they were doing it wrong. They kept saying do it with one leg or one knee. And I was watching a video of a compilation of all. I went and watched it afterwards. I told everyone he does two knees. He does.
Don't be that kid in class.
But I mentioned it for a second, like, doesn't he use two knees? And they're like, no, he uses one or whatever. Then I dropped it because I'm like, I'm not going to be that dude.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked.
Actually.
But I looked it up and like, yeah, he does two most of the times.
What's this right here?
But anyway, so the problem is what's happening is I keep wanting to quit, but also Crystal thinks that we're not gonna be able to afford this every month. I've barely been there, and I already want to be at the big leagues, and that's the problem.
I think you're looking at this the wrong way.
I think I can go.
Definitely.
I think I can, dude. Because okay, so what I do.
This should be exercise before anything.
So what? Okay, and the
Thank
funny.
you.
This should be you getting out before anything.
So the funny thing is, so you think I should quit?
No.
Oh,
I
so-
think that you should keep doing this as long as it gets you active and exercise.
So the funny thing is, I asked a long time ago on their Facebook and Messenger. I was like, "Do I need to get cardio in and be ready for it? 'Cause I want to know." Because they're like, "No, we only do a little bit in the beginning, but that's on your own time." Fuck that. When I was there was hella cardio.
That's not any cardio.
I guess maybe consider to them.
Your cardio's low.
Yeah, to a fat guy, maybe it's just a lot. So
I mean, I could tell you could feel your cardio build. When I get back on my longboard and I start riding it regularly,
I miss longboarding.
when I start riding regularly, I can feel myself being able to go longer and longer and longer. You can feel that. You're less out of breath.
Giggity.
well, even the second days or so of running, I felt a little better,
Yeah.
like running.
So just keep that up. You'll start to feel better and better. Eventually, you'll get to the point where you reach you're so exhausted, but you're too far to like really do anything, and then you get that runner's high where you get past the peak of exhaustion, and your brain kind of shuts off, and you just kind of
Well,
vibe
it's
out.
weird because with my anxiety. So first of all, I tried to explain a lot. I got the scarred lungs, which I don't want to use as a crutch, but I'm hoping they're getting better. You
got to exercise them by doing cardio.
Right, I have diabetes. I have
But that can be fixed
Somewhat
by
hi-
doing cardio.
somewhat high blood pressure.
That can be fixed
I have
by doing cardio.
I have a panic attacks. I have a lot of these things.
Nah, that's not so much.
I have a lot of these things that
Probably could.
if they all heard
Would
All
certainly
those
help.
endorphins.
if they all heard this, they probably were like, dude, if you were a cat, I'd put you down. Like, you have too many issues. So I talked to
That's
them.
a good way of. I'm gonna say that to people from now on. If somebody's dropping all their problems, dude, you're like a cat. If you were a cat, man, I'd put you the fuck down.
My dad was dating a girl, and she was like losing her eyesight. She had something, and I was like, Dad, if she was a cat, I'd put her down. Like, that sounds so bad, but I'm sorry. It sounds like she has so many problems, and that's where I thought of it, because
That's
honestly, if people heard, me go, I have this, and I go through that. So it's rough, and it's with the age difference, too. So my biggest thing is I want to just I want to wrestle. I want to have fun. But the thing is, you got to learn things, and the things you're learning are so tedious, it feels like, but it is important because, like, to lock up, I didn't know you have to go with a left foot step.
that stuff's not even important. None of the wrestling technical stuff is important at all. It's the fact that you are getting exercise,
Well, that's what I have to learn to become a wrestler.
regardless of.
It's-
Before you become a wrestler, your biggest motivation in life should be I need to get rid of all this other crap.
So,
And part of that is getting some fucking exercise.
I
Start taking pictures of yourself in the mirror every day.
I've been losing weight
So take yourself.
even when I was
Sexy for my
swimming.
Too
And stuff.
sexy. Da, da, da.
Before I did the pull, I was 280. Now I'm 260.
Yeah, lose enough. Yeah, lose enough weight so you can start to turn your old shirts into like blankets.
Jesus Christ.
No, you've never seen that before.
Yeah, sad thing is, my friend that passed away, his mom wants to make all his shirts into a
A blanket.
quilt blanket because you could smell them and all that. Like, goddamn fool, you never showered. It smells like sweat. But anyway, so the
But
big,
it's good sweat.
but the big problem is, and this is what I've been talking to Adam, long talks with Ronnie, because I wasn't trying to let everybody know, because number one, I didn't want to fail. Number two, I don't want to look stupid, because it's wrestling. But
Well, Ernie, you look stupid.
thanks.
You're a dumb.
So Crystal's
Idiot.
worried about us having that extra 100 to spend. My dad's like, you just need to figure out the money then yourself, which is understandable, because I used to have to do that for rent for the shop. And this is actually filling the void of the shop for me to go. That's why Mondays and Wednesdays I can't do anything.
That's fine.
I miss Mondays with my family now, though. So that sucks. But that's for me to be dedicated. I have to go on Mondays. This Monday I'm going. Wednesday I can't because Crystal works. And I have to. I'm just going to tell them out of respect. They don't care if I just don't show up. But I'm going to do it so they know, hey, he has a reason and he'd rather be
Well,
here.
you should do some exercise that day.
No, I'll
Do
probably.
exercise every day.
Well, yeah, obviously. But this is
So the
No,
money
no, it
thing,
needs to
but
be said.
Crystal's getting burnt out already. Driving an hour there and driving an hour back. So you
Because that's
figure,
more than $100 that you're spending in that month.
yeah, it's gas.
well, and it's 4 hours of her life that she's dedicating to me 2 times a week. Let alone she already dedicates to me far
Wait,
as
is this 2 times a week?
yeah, it's only Monday, Wednesday. Thank God.
Okay.
It's in Yuba. But that's the problem too, is for you to move faster to become a wrestler, you really should be there every day. And that's what, because like one kid was like, he's been there for like 2 years or whatever, or a year and a half. But he told me he took hella time off for school. So I was like, oh, okay. So people can just drop out. And that might be my thing. I might drop out for a little bit. I don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out right now. That's why I'm bringing it to you guys. But Crystal, like, that's 4 hours of her life. And she sits in there for 2 hours in the car. She used to sit in 3 hours in the car for my IOP, for my mental health stuff. So it sucks because I kind of want to be like, well, don't you want me to get better? And don't you want me to get out? But at the same time,
Altogether, it's 8 hours a week. Because it's
Eight-
an hour there, 2 hours sit, hour home,
yeah,
one day. So 8 hours a week.
yes, it's 4 hours each time. So what sucks is days where Logan has to go. Mondays, he could go to my mom's when they all hang out, and we go there at the end. Because ending at 8's not that bad, because by the time we get back, it's like 8:45, 9.
So wait, this is in the evening?
Yeah. 6 to 8 at night. But the thing is, with Crystal, I try to explain to her, she has a lot of homework and shit. Just bring your homework and stuff. But it's easier said than done for me.
Yeah, but
for,
really easier said than done.
for me to sit there and be like, just do what I say and
So-
blah, blah, blah. But I am looking for an out to quit, I feel like sometimes. So it's like, I could easily just go, all right,
Without Crystal here to have the conversation with us, it's kind of difficult for me to get a full grasp of what the situation is.
Well,
I can't really give you any
she-
advice. Because
she-
if Crystal really needs you to quit, then you just need to quit because the money's not there and all that kind of stuff.
well, like I said, what if I just rely on the money and I pay for it? Then
that's
it's just
on
her,
you.
Then it's on her time after that.
Then
So
learn
what-
how to drive
So
yourself.
that's another thing we've
Say,
talked.
get a bike.
That's a yeah.
Bike up to fucking what?
Yuba?
Natoma?
Yuba.
Yuba?
Not a bicycle.
Yuba?
A motorcycle.
You know what sucks? They used
It's
to.
Yuba.
Yeah.
Yuba sucks.
They used to be in Sacramento, like I think before COVID or some shit, and that would have been easy peasy lemon squeezy. We wouldn't have had this much of a problem right now. But the fact that it's in Yuba is the biggest issue.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. And Crystal's like, well, what if you take a break for a little bit? But I told her time's not stopping for me, and I'm getting older, so I don't want to stop.
Well, take some of the stuff you're learning and start applying it to your personal life.
Well, I mean, I could sit there and jog and all that, but
Do that.
what they care
that.
what they care about is you learning.
But you're not going to get better, any better wrestler until you can get that shit. So you're going to have to
yeah.
start
But
taking...
when we're doing the moves, it's
I know, but you're
it's
going to
a-
have to start taking some time for yourself to get yourself up to the rest of these levels.
It's a slow pace when you're learning things. It's step by step.
Yeah, but just because you learn it doesn't mean you can execute it properly.
Right, but that's why I'd have to be there and.
But you'd
practice.
also have to...
I think if you learned it, then you would execute it properly. Because then at that point you learned it. Sorry.
No.
I will tell you that they
I
did-
can learn how to ride a bike, but I can also learn how to ride a bike
Oh, you
and not
lost.
have the physical strength to pedal a bike.
'Cause you just
it's
ruined
just
it.
it's
the
technically
saying's
possible.
like it's just like riding a bike.
What?
So you ruined it. I go. The saying is it's
A
just like riding
woman
the bike.
a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle.
Yeah.
That's like a really weird, famous quote from this weird feminist book.
But I'll tell you, so doing a suplex, he told me to get out or sit out of the ring, and I was kind of like, don't I need to
yeah, but you're
learn?
not. Even if you learn how to do it, if you can't execute it fast enough because you're too fucking fat, then it doesn't matter how much you learn, right?
Well, being a fat guy, it's easy to execute a suplex. I'm worried about them picking my ass up.
You can learn to run, but it doesn't mean you're gonna go run a race, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you can learn to wrestle doesn't mean you can
I've suplexed-
actually
I've
wrestle.
suplexed my whole life, but I've never been suplexed. So that worries me because there's one guy that has a lot of issues.
You think your body's just gonna Mortal Kombat X-ray mode? Your neck just
Dude,
snaps.
there's one guy.
Don't watch videos like that then.
There's one guy that they were trying to do it to, and he just jumped kind of and landed straight on the guy every time. So imagine he's trying to pick him up, and when he's picking him up, the guy just lands on him. So he's not even getting up high enough to go over the guy's. But see, the whole thing is, once you jump a little bit, it's all up to the guy to pull you up. So the guy's jumping wrong, basically. Like they're saying, don't jump with your feet going out, like launching yourself, like diagonally. Jump straight up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you jump straight up,
Guys, it's fundamental.
but
Safety first.
you gotta be able to. So that guy landed on him so many times, and I'm like, all I do is overthink every fucking time I'm there. I overthink everything, and I realize if I just sit back and maybe chill and just do things, I might be good at it.
Almost like you have the solution to the problem then.
But
You didn't
it
need
was
to
all
ask
in me
us.
the whole time.
Yes. The journey was the friends you made along the way.
The secret ingredient is you.
Damn, sprinkle it in there.
That's
but
Kung Fu Panda.
is it? I've only watched that like once.
Skadoosh.
See, I'm like Kung Fu Panda. I'm like the Jack Black. They're like yippee-ki-yay, like screwing up.
Poe the panda.
But it's and like I said, like I hung out
Dragon
with
Warrior.
so a couple of the wrestlers. So
It's almost like
they bring in
Google
wrestlers
something.
from the actual shows to come in to practice with you and stuff. So them I'll pick like their brains. One guy is like 42, and I was just like,
How you doing at this age, man?
dude, he was hitting the ropes. When you run the ropes, you have to bounce back and forth really fast, and another guy does the other way. Him and my trainer's a big guy. They're flying, dude, and I'm like, maybe they made everyone run the ropes. They're like, have you run it yet? I'm like, no. They're like, okay, don't worry about it. But I'm thinking, shouldn't I start running the ropes? Like, shouldn't I?
You should start running.
Of course, man. Try
Well,
to
but
get
he-
on everything you can.
But they told me to sit out. And so I asked him after practice, like, was there a reason why you're asking me to sit out for a couple things? And he's like, oh, it's just because you're new. But I'm thinking, like, running the ropes is something easy.
No, you're too fat. They don't want you
That's
to
what
snap the ropes.
Is it easy though?
Not easy as in, like, I'm going to be amazing at it, but anyone should be able to do it. Logan could run the ropes.
Are you sure?
You bounce back and forth. That's all you got to do.
Okay.
But can you be good at it and be fast? Yeah, there's ways to do that. How long till you're leaving?
Like 10 minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes.
It's already 8 o'clock.
Carry
So
it, don't worry.
Huh?
So we can carry it. Don't worry.
I mean, he's already pretty much carrying it on his
I know.
own. He's just
He's
regaling
just
us
telling
a
us
story
story.
of woes.
Well, I'm just explaining what.
You're like Mickey Rourke?
So go ahead and,
Rourke, is
go
that
ahead
you
and
say it?
tell us a couple of highlights of what you think is wrong or what your dilemma is. That way we can
No,
actually
no,
give
no,
some
no.
input.
Here's always the question you have to ask Ernie. What is your question?
I don't know if I should continue doing it or. Because I want to quit just
No,
'cause
no,
of
no,
how
no.
hard it
Don't
is.
just give me just the question. Don't give me anything else. If you
Just
had
the
to, ask God to solve this problem for you, what question would you ask God?
Show me a sign.
Show
That's a
me,
statement, but
show me anything,
what
God.
should I do?
What should I do, Lord?
Lordy, Lordy. Is this worth it?
Okay, and is that the answer you want from us?
I don't know if you guys can answer that. My thing is, going into it, I thought it would
Besides just
So-
dumping us with
so-
info dumping us, what do you want me and him particularly to say that'll give you what you need? Do
So
you
I'm
want us to
gonna-
say yay
I
or
don't-
nay on
I
whether
don't-
you should
I
do this
don't-
or not?
I don't think you guys really would have answers.
I'm just going to answer a question with a question like, what do you think you're going to get out of this? What is your end goal with this?
My end goal. Okay, so SPW's pretty small.
I just need an end goal.
No, I don't. None of that matters.
To
I just
wrestle
need an
to
angle.
wrestle just for SPW basically.
Okay. So
We're
small
at-
time
so-
wrestling.
Yeah, so SPW does about
It's as far as you need to go to feel.
5 to 8 minutes
To feel glad.
matches normally.
And what is this compared to like AEW or
It's
WWE?
super low local. A lot of people use this and they want a trampoline up higher.
looking for a trampoline.
No.
You just want to.
If there's
You just want to wrestle.
from what I
You
heard
don't care where or when or how.
from what I heard, there's other local small ones that they'll hit you up and say, "Hey, can you come down and do a match or whatever?" I would maybe do something like that, but other than that, I would just be loyal to SPW, and if they need me, they need me. If not, whatever.
Are you doing this for shits and giggles? What like? How
Well,
long,
that's the thing.
How long do you think you're gonna take
S's
doing
and
this
G's.
to achieve a certain goal?
Well, see, that's the thing is there's no real structure to their system. It's just you come, show up, you practice. Once they feel like you're ready to be a wrestler, they tell you. But most people, I haven't heard. I heard one guy that wanted to be a manager. And this is a guy that used to come to my shop. He did it, and he said about 8 months, and I was like, "Fuck, that's hella long. 8 months, blah blah blah."
Okay, so
But-
again, like,
He was a manager and a ref. He wore a mask as a manager, so
Okay.
you couldn't tell the difference.
so is
but
he getting paid a little bit?
I don't know. I don't know how the paying
A
and all that.
manager and a ref, I'm sure they're got to be.
I don't know if there's-
compensating him somehow.
They get a
but-
hot dog and a bag of chips.
nice and a
Uh,
Snow cone.
Dude, in the arena?
You ever listen to Brian Regan, the comedian?
No, go ahead.
He has one where he talks about if you play back when he was a kid, if you played a half game of the baseball game, you still got a full snow cone. So he's like, yeah, all I do is sit out in the outfield, just do snow cone math. Be like, if you play half a game, you still get a full snow cone.
That's worth it to some people. And that's what people say that a lot of people don't, like back in the days, indies, you don't really get paid. They're like,
It's exposure.
you get hot dogs and stuff like that. Well, it's funny. So I've been connecting to a lot of people's pages now since my trainer added me
Since
as a
I'm in
friend.
a loop.
And I look at all their pages, says, "Oh, and for bookings, email me at this and that." So a lot of people are looking a lot to get out there or whatever. But like I said, all I really want to do is have, and I don't know, maybe it's wrong to them because they're like, "Oh, you gotta take it serious," because they brought in a guy that's like one of the tag champs, and he's been around for Texas and Mexico and things like that. And Texaco, and they asked us to ask things to him and any questions, and I brought up like, is it weird that you think of names and moves and stuff like that, or am I just crazy? And he's like, all that doesn't matter. And I basically got called out. It felt like it doesn't matter. It's more about you need to know how to wrestle, know the technical shit. But then I watched his match at the one I just was at. They put it up there, and he barely was in, which is fine. It's nothing against him. It was a 4-way tag match, but it was all charisma and stuff. And that's my thing is I felt like charisma plays a huge part of the storytelling and all that.
Yeah.
And they don't do promos.
You know how you get charisma? Cardio.
They don't do promos, so that's kind of weird to me too because
Well, I imagine most small studios don't do promos.
I was looking forward to promos because they're on a time limit.
And
why.
that's it for Declan.
Pretty much. I gotta bail out of here, folks. We'll be seeing you next time we fly over the Rocky Mountains. I'm your captain.
You sound like Quagmire when he's like,
When does the longest in the.
I can't even do it in my throat. It's not like all right, people.
And we'll see you later, folks.
Are you gonna go play cards,
Suck my dick!
or are you going to like the cabin or something?
Gonna go to the brewery with my family.
Oh, that sounds fun.
With mi familia.
Are you gonna drink beer?
Probably not. I'm just gonna go hang out with them.
What brewery is it?
It's called Bike Dog. It's like
Okay, I know where it is. It's in West Sac.
Yeah,
West
That's
Side.
cool. West Sac.
Oh,
where I live.
Do you?
I
used to-
right by Lynn Park. By the zoo, Fairy Tale Town.
That's not West Sac.
That's where Bike Dog is.
I thought Bike Dog was in West Sac.
There might be 2 Bike Dogs then.
who knows? Enjoy your beers.
No, I'm going to a Ficky Not Real Brewery. That's what it's called. No, it's right. That's where I'm going.
Nobody cares.
Anyway, have a good one.
See ya.
I won't.
But
It's fucking cold, man.
So,
so anyways, So they're talking about that, and I kind of felt stupid because everybody's like, but once you become a wrestler, that to me is a big thing, that you have to have that character and have the move and have whatever. Um, I don't know. It just worries me that how much time am I gonna have to put in to get to where I want to be? And then people that are gonna hear me say that are gonna be like, well, then you're not, like let's say my trainer heard me say that. He's like, well, then you're not serious because you don't want to learn, you know, wrestling. You just want to get in there and wrestle, I guess. I don't know.
That's what it sounds like.
And that's what, I mean, it is to an extent. I want to wrestle, but I mean, of course, I want to do it the correct way and stuff. But I've been watching like crazy a lot of independent wrestling. I've been watching Ring of Honor, which is kind of the top independent where CM Punk came from, Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, everybody came from there. They do a lot of stuff that I'm not getting trained to do. They do a lot of things different hand motions, different setups. I still mess up just locking up with somebody. That's the first thing they train me to do, and I still fuck up. And you have to do everything starting with your left, and I fuck up and go on my right.
Suck.
Pretty much.
You suck.
So I don't know. I'm at a point at where, practice is fine, but you figure once you get done with the practicing, like a lot of these guys, and they graduate to become a wrestler or whatever,
you can graduate.
It's an academy. So, yeah, that makes you become a wrestler, I believe. But those guys that come in to help train, they come in and just help training or whatever. I don't know if they really have to, or do they get a bonus for doing it or whatnot. But for the most part, I think they're basically done. They don't have to be there every week because they're not there every week or every training. But so to me, it's like once you're done with it, are you just done and you wait for your phone call to see if they want to bring you in for your match? Because then that means I would cut out going to Yuba City and only showing, maybe go to Yuba City to help out if they needed help. Or, but yeah, I guess, or you're done and you just show up to the Elk Grove shows. Like, I don't get how it works, and they don't really explain it.
What you call the Elk Grove shows? Hey, I'm an inspiring.
That's them. It's them. The training company is the Elk Grove shows.
Okay, call them and ask them, hey, how would I get to here?
What do you mean?
Like, ask them.
I don't think you're following. I don't think you're following. The guys that train there run the Elk Grove shows.
Yes.
So why would I call them when I could literally ask them there?
Are they not giving you a straight answer?
Well, I haven't really asked anything with that because I don't want to.
What's that black kid's name that does the?
Oh, I don't know.
Hands?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like the obvious answer is right there.
But no, it's because I don't want to sit there and after my only few times of being there, jump over.
It's okay to wonder. Like, hey, what's it like being up there? Like, have you been there? How long did it take you to get there?
Well, like our main guy that teaches us, he has been wrestling for years, since he was 8, he said.
Because I do the same thing with at the main shop at Subaru. I just go and ask, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I learned this in school. It's very simple, but, blah, blah, blah.
I think it's different.
Look at what's going on.
It's different when you actually have a long way to go, and that's what bugs me.
So do I.
I know I have a long way to go.
I have a long way to go. And, like, I'm kind of in your position where I want to know, hey, how long does it take to get in the main shop? Because I don't want to be in Lube Express for hella long. Because I really don't like the manager there or whatever, because he's super lazy. But just got to stick it out. Show up every day. Show that I can do this. Show that I want to come in here and do this or whatever. And it'll be the same with you. It's going to take a while. It's not going to take me like a couple months and I'm in. It's going to take me maybe a year.
And for me, it's like, it's a lot of work. Like, now I have to beat in my head that I was excited to go there. I was like, dude, this is it, man. I get to play around. Like, see, that's the bad thing. People are like, oh, what? You think you can play around in a ring? But I get to go into a ring and practice with people. This is cool. Now it's like I got to beat in my head that I'm going to hurt today. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna do cardio, and it's gonna hurt, and you're not gonna like it. And I have to keep reminding myself that. So the drives up there aren't the best, but a bonus, I guess, is I haven't yet to have any anxiety while I'm in there. Because you would think, knowing me, I'd have moments where like I'm getting too fucked up, or maybe I'm thinking too much, and I'm like, oh man, I need to go take a break. And like, can I step outside or whatever? And that shit would get old to them, you know. But I do take a decent amount to get out there, so that might help me too. So I don't know.
Do you have a nickname?
No.
Are there people in there that have nicknames, or they call themselves nicknames?
One guy introduced himself to me. You know, do you know what's really funny? So one guy that was training me, they weren't using his name, and his name is, I believe, his name, but I'll just say it. I think it's Robert or Bob, but I think it's part of his wrestling name as well. So it wasn't that big of, you know, whatever. But someone introduced themselves as their wrestling name, and it made me think of Infinity War. Like, oh, we're using our fake names. Oh, like, oh, I'm Spider-Man. I literally thought that, and then the next time I met someone, he introduced himself. Again, you have to go around, shake people's hands, and he said his name. And when he said it, I don't want to put anyone on blast. When he said it, I thought of the same fucking thing. Like, oh, we're using our fake names. But yeah, I mean, that's just how it is. But of course, I seem, I guess, stupid to them because I need to know wrestling first. I have a lot of names that I've wanted to use, and
to drop a couple.
no, I'm not gonna. Oh well, I'll say that Eddie will always be my first name because my initials are EDE, and this has been a thing I've done forever, like not during our backyard wrestling days, but backyard wrestling, I was California Kid, and I was Evil Ernie. Oh, and then I was the Fix. The Fix, I don't think is appropriate nowadays.
That's so funny. I totally remember you writing stuff and like wrestling at grandma's and in my backyard.
That's when grandma wouldn't let me anymore, so your mom let us. And your fucking dogs were all running around in the camera shots and shit. But that was a low time for us because a lot of guys stopped showing up. There was a really high time during the backyard wrestling where
I don't remember like too many people showing up.
There was a high time where a lot of people showed up because my friend was putting our VHSs into it was our biology class. They had a TV right there and you could put it in, and people were watching the matches. So then people would come up to us and be like, hey man, could we get on the show and this and that. I was like, fuck dude, I'm a booker now. But it lasted for like a week, and that was it. Yeah, so it was a lot different. But that's the thing, is like doing that, you feel like you can do it. But again, I was in a 17, 16-year-old body, so I wasn't getting gassed. I wasn't getting tired. You guys were all smaller than me, so I could do suplexes, toss you guys around. Maybe my friend Mario, that was in shape and not small like you guys, he was able to do things to me and stuff like that. But for the most part, I've never got tossed. Now in here, I'm going to have to learn how to get tossed around and trust people. And it's scary because no matter how much you trust someone,
they get slip and fuck up.
There's people.
And there goes Ernie.
There's a bunch of wrestlers now that they get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I worry about. And I was talking to my dad yesterday about my knees. And that's the thing that sucks, is being an older person wrestling. He was telling me to get like things for my tendons because I get worried about my knees, and I have small ass ankles and calves and all that.
I get compression pants and
does compression does that do anything to you that like can
asking for a friend
to harm you though or anything? No,
I don't think so. I feel a lot better when I wear my compression pants and my compression socks.
What is it?
At the end of the day at work, like I feel way better. Like my feet aren't sore, my legs aren't sore.
Dude, so I'll get back to that, but my feet for the first few times were like on fire, and they felt like I was gripping to the ground for some reason.
Stuff like Spider-Man does.
I guess, but they were like I could feel on all
Just
the
imagine you like
all the knobs on my all the
slap each other.
all the knobs on my feet were like throbbing.
You have knobs on your feet.
Well, like
hell?
the balls, your ball joints, or I don't know what the fuck you call it. That's what they.
You got balls on your feet.
Yeah, a sack. When you get massages, they teach you like where.
There's the heel and the ball of your foot. I know what you're talking about.
But no, even like right now, I'm fucking with it. It's like on the right below your toes. You got like two little like meat patties.
Meat patties. Yeah, where you should be balanced.
Yeah, so I'm
For the
balancing all
ready
that.
to go.
There was times where like they put us in the ring and I'm like standing there and I just feel like I can't stand here that long. But you just ignore it, ignore the pain. But like
That's good.
my feet, and I talked to a dude afterwards and I was like, should I get wrestling shoes? Because like I said, I was wearing my Mambas and they're my basketball shoes and I haven't really worn. R.I.P. bro. I haven't wore them ever really. I've been waiting to wear them for basketball and I haven't done it yet. So they're fresh, dude. Fresh, so clean.
So fresh and so clean.
But he was like telling me that wrestling shoes hurt him. So I'm like, great. So I have New Balances that were really good when I went to San Francisco walking everywhere. So I'm hoping that if I wear those, maybe they'll help out. They just don't have no high top. So I worry about my ankles. Like I literally want to tape up my ankles and my wrist. But I'm not wrestling. I'm just training. So I look stupid. Like I'm getting ready to be in a wrestling match.
Take your precautions. If you feel like, precautions.
Well, I think
Like,
if I
feel
was...
like if you feel like you're gonna roll your ankle, then tape them.
Well, I feel like...
Get knee pads too.
Well, we have to show up with knee pads.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So we have to have knee pads to drop.
I think you'd look cool in some Asics. That's a pretty good brand.
I'll have to look. Some are ugly. I guess it doesn't matter if they're ugly or not. Because a lot of people...
sure. You don't want to show like fucking...
A lot of people's wrestling shoes there are ugly as fuck.
Like if I were to wrestle,
But to me, it's
I
like...
wouldn't be in like a leotard or anything, and I wouldn't have the
So-
fucking like boots that are like
So
shiny
the
leather
owner...
and shit.
The owner comes on Mondays, and he was talking about... He wants people to look like wrestlers. He's like, I don't want to look like you just came out of Walmart. And I'm like, great. Because I'm into like how Kevin Owens dresses. Like CM Punk, when he was in Ring of Honor, he just wore basketball shorts. And on the sides, there was stitching that said like his name or whatever. Kevin Owens wears almost like MMA shorts.
You should show the headgear and everything.
Kevin Owens wears like almost MMA shorts that says like Fight Owens Fight on it. But
Says, yes, we can.
he wears a cutoff shirt. But which is cool is he wears his, so you're marketing it, and that's smart for wrestling. But what are you doing? Because you adjusted the mic, you feel all proper?
No, it like wiggled in my face.
Oh, but him saying that made me go, oh, and I was like, well, Kevin Owens wears shorts. What about that? And he's like, yeah, but he's Kevin Owens. And I was like, true.
It's like, don't fucking argue with me.
So my thing is, though, I don't want to be, let's say I got somewhere or got further. I don't want to look like everyone else in a leotard or tights. I'm not going to be shirtless with tights for sure with my gut all hanging out.
You should just do it.
I'll look like...
You should start getting tattoos all over your body. It'll look less... It'll look more intimidating.
I'll look like George Animal Steel.
I don't know who that is, but okay.
It was back in our great grandma days. He wrestled Hogan and shit, but big older dude, furry dude, covered in hair, gray hair, tongue is all green. He usually carried a teddy bear. George the Animal Steel, man, check him out. Old school cool wrestler. He was obsessed with Elizabeth Macho Man's lady. But yeah, so I got to go back tomorrow. I dream about this shit, dude. I go to bed at night thinking about it. But no, it's me worried. It's me.
Man.
It's me
I was
worried.
thinking of Monsters Inc.
What?
How you just wake up training. Got
What do you mean?
Mike Wazowski waking you up. Scary feet, scary feet, scary feet. Kids awake. And scary feet, scary feet, scary feet. Kids asleep.
I saw
Twins and a bunk bed. And
off subject. There's a third one, right? There's the college, and then there's the one that they're.
There's a TV show.
Is it a TV show? The one where they're teaching
Back
them
to Work.
Oh, see, I thought that was a movie.
It's based on like one younger dude.
And they're trying to train people to be funny, right? Isn't that how that one works?
Yeah, that's the show. Because the college one, that's before they go to scare, and then at the end of the first one, that's when they realize that laughing is more powerful. Are you gonna get us some McDonald's?
If you went, I'd pay for it. Talking about training and shit, and it's like, that's what's bad is we've gone to McDonald's almost every time afterwards because it's down the street, but usually it's because Crystal has to go pee. So
Can I get a salad from here?
do you guys, dude? Back in the day, McDonald's used to have those shake cups.
I remember that. You'd push the...
Yeah, and you
I
just,
think so, right? You'd push the...
I think you pushed it down and put the dressing in, and then you shook it up or something. I don't know.
Shake, shake, shake,
But
shake, shake,
if they
shake,
did that, that'd be cool. But I would need like 3 of them.
I thought your dad was gonna get it.
Salads, huh?
I thought your dad was gonna get it.
Oh no, he just texted me saying that he's got work tomorrow.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know
why
what-
he can't.
He goes to bed like at 8:30
I'm
at
just
night.
kidding.
It's crazy to me. But
Why?
I guess he's got to be up like 4 or whatever. But I still would
If we
probably
had a schedule like him, it'd probably be a lot easier to wrap your head around it.
no. I still would.
Yeah,
I still would go to bed probably about 10 or so. I mean, I guess it depends on age or who you are. Huh?
I said no fucking way.
What do you mean?
I think you'd go to sleep early too. If you had a set schedule, I think you'd be going to sleep early.
Not if you suffer from insomnia.
I said if you had a schedule.
Insomnia just happens. It doesn't matter about
I said
schedule.
if you had a schedule, I think you'd be going to sleep early.
Shit, I thought
Like your
after
dad.
working out with my legs throbbing, I was gonna just pass out from being so worked. My body worked, but I didn't. Like I said, I was
If
up
you're hella
all
sore. You're
night.
gonna be hurting.
I was up all night. I wanted to go lay in an ice bath so
You
bad.
should have. That would have been cool.
Hey, check me out, guys. Put this on the gram. Just an athlete.
Dedicated.
Yeah, and I also don't want to really mention it to a lot of people because also, like, what if I do have to quit or something or whatever? I don't want people to be like, look at you. You couldn't even go through it and this and that.
I don't know. You're gonna get that regardless. You
Well,
know,
a lot of
they-
people want to see you fail.
Yep. So you just look past it. You know, if you can't do this, then you can't do it.
I hope I don't know a lot of people that I shouldn't know enough to all want me to fail, but
But
I just think if I could make it right, if they let me do a show or something, I could bring probably 15 people into it, like to watch me.
How much does it cost for a ticket?
I think like 15, 10 for kids or some shit like that. But like
And where's this at?
the shows are in Elk Grove.
Oh, girl.
Because I'm gonna go to the next one, and it's on the 19th. I don't know. I've seen
I kind of want to go.
Rodney's supposed to go with me. It's cool. It's Logan loved it, dude. I was shocked. Logan didn't really care for it at first to go, but once he was there, he's like, I want to go back. I want to go watch it again. Because you're like right there watching them fucking throw each other and shit. It's pretty cool. You gotta figure out your noise to make when you exhale.
You can choose from voice 1, 2, or 3. I remember that.
Hulk Hogan's like, Raksha. Raksha. He always does that.
Customizing on the WWE one. I put a belt on him, and I couldn't make it gold, so it was like a super yellow.
Ugh. On what game?
It was the one with, I think it was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, we have your Mario Stadium or your Pokemon Stadium.
Keep it, like, there's
Oh.
no way of me playing it.
Logan has a 64 hooked up.
Nice.
But what game was it? The wrestling?
WWF one with Stone Cold Steve Austin. You could customize characters.
Well, yeah, they all
I
have
might do
custom.
hella big.
I mean, they're now 2K, so I have
Super corny.
22
walkouts.
2K right now, and that one's all right. I haven't played it as much recently, but I was playing the shit ton out of it probably about a month ago. But the new one's about to come out. It's funny when the dude was like we were training in between sitting down. He's like, "Fuck yeah, man!" I'm like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm looking at the new wrestling game coming out." He goes, "There's a fucking killer mode coming out," and I'm like, "Oh, you play?" I'm like, "I play," but it's funny because these guys are like, they look like Declan, like age wise. So I'm like, how am I gonna bond with these guys when, you know?
It's like that at work too. Like we got a couple of kids. So it's me, Vincente, who's the manager, and then Dustin. We're 30 and older. And there is Marcus, Jason, Ethan, Spencer, Edgar, and Leo. Oh, and Hugo. They're like 25 and under.
See, I can't.
Some are like fucking 19.
I can't tell all their ages, but I can tell they're younger than me, and that's why I'm like, how am I supposed to get part of this group where everyone's cool with each other and knows each other? It's hard. It's even hard with me and Declan. Like, we became friends, but we don't relate on a lot
I
of
think
shit.
Declan uses you.
Huh? What'd you say?
Just kidding. I said I think Declan uses you.
For what? There's nothing to use me
kidding.
for.
Proxies.
It's hard even for me and him to be on the same, like,
He's hella immature.
same path. The same path, because we're in so different places in our life. Even if I was, he's like, what, 22? Even if I was like 28, you're in different spots in your life. Way different spots. So imagine someone that's 38 talking to one of these guys that's like 26. Like, I got a wife, I got a kid, you know, I got different life going on. Don't got a mortgage, got rent, trying to get a mortgage.
I'm the same way, man. Like, and then going to school too.
Yeah, but
like,
how old are you? You're 30?
30, and kids are like 18 in school.
Did you just turn 30?
I'm sorry, I'm 31.
I was gonna say, yeah. I was gonna say, I thought you said you were 30 before, so you must be older.
I'm 31. And there's kids in there like 17 that are going to UTI and all that. And it's like, wow. I feel
Boy,
kind
did I fuck up.
I feel kind of late, but there's people that are older than me going. Like, I saw this dude who's got to be at least close to 50.
Yeah. Well, that's my thing is I don't see anyone older than me, and that's the problem. And that's the thing. The whole
They're
thing.
like, what's up, old school?
The whole thing that.
Ernie, your new nickname is old school.
Shit, I'd be pissed off. I'd quit that day. That's the really tough thing too. Like I said, I feel like I'm in high school again. I feel like I'm the fat guy. Like when we had to do like run around the buildings, I'm the last guy running in, and it's just dude. That was me in high school all over again.
You gonna quit?
When you practice, not yet. When you practice,
You gonna go cry?
you gonna go cry. Get some Whab burgers. When you practice your moves,
What does he say?
everybody sits out there and watches you.
What does he say in Spider-Man 3? You want sympathy? Go to church or something like that?
I don't know.
Get religion.
Something like that. Wait, what part?
Where he calls Eddie Brock a fraud.
Oh,
And he says, you want something? Get religion. And then that's later
why he
on.
goes to the church.
Yeah.
I want to kill Peter
I wanted
Parker.
to talk to you about the new Venom.
I hate it.
Have you read any of it?
Oh, the comic?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
His son or whatever?
My eyes hella twitching. Yeah, it's weird because Eddie Brock has to be the hive mind of all the symbiotes, the king of the symbiotes, so he can't be Venom anymore. So his son is, and it's kind of weird. He gets like chains on his hands. And
So they took out the King in Black, and that was Eddie Brock that did that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he had to become the King in Black?
Mm-hmm. The
Kinda
one that
like some
controls all the
fucking-
symbiotes.
Some Davy Jones shit on Pirates of the Caribbean.
I haven't seen that one.
Are you serious? Whoever
They
kills
all blend together for me.
the box needs a heart. And then he stabs Davy Jones, and then Orlando Brown's character, I can't remember his name.
Orlando Bloom.
Oh, that's right.
Brown is the one
Brown's
that's
the one
crazy.
Yeah. Orlando Bloom's character becomes Davy Jones.
Don't know. Don't follow it. Are you gonna try? Did you want to try to go? That looks like you're doing something else with that mouth. Would you try to go to one of the shows? They do one every month. That's the only problem for me is how do you carry a storyline when it's once per month? And I actually
You just
mentioned
do.
I mentioned it to the guy. Well, how do you make it like this guy hates this guy, right? In the moment of that day. And then a month
And
later,
cut.
you're going to have a month. Yeah. And a month later, you're going to have a match. So I mentioned that you guys should do promos on Facebook. And so fans like me that are watching it or whatever, we get to see you guys talk crap to each other, whatever. And I swear they did it right afterwards. Probably not because of me, but it was just lined up perfectly
It's not because of me, but I mean, it's kind of
because of
because
me.
of me.
No, they did it, but like I said, they do it every month, so it's every like third Sunday, I believe, of the month. So this one's gonna be on the 19th. I don't know.
Really, every third Sunday?
Think so.
That's every weekend I'm not supposed to have Axton.
Really?
Yeah, so we could go.
So
I also found out that I can rent cars for my work for $25 a day, regardless of the size. And I'm like, fuck, dude. My
Benz or
mom,
Bims or Bentley.
my
Benz or
mom
Benz
has
or
to
Bentley.
put my name on the insurance.
I'm fresh.
and then,
I'm fly. I'm so damn.
Dude, I'm
high.
gonna go start going to like San Francisco or
And a
LA.
Bugatti.
Yep.
That'd be dope.
Mm-hmm.
Just show up in your Bugatti.
Hella fast and hit the brakes and lock them up. Slide into place.
Get out while you're sliding.
Have you seen people drifting in the snow like that?
No.
It's pretty cool.
But yeah, so they're gonna have that show. They're really trying to promote it. They talk to us always afterwards to make sure we promote it or whatever. But like I said, like if I was in the ring, you know, me wrestling, I could get a shit ton of people. 'Cause let alone my family, my primary family, my brother would come, his wife, their kids. My stepdad would come, my mom would come, my dad would come, my sister would come, her kids would come, and it's just
And then nobody shows up.
no. They would all pretty much show up. I don't know anyone unless they made an excuse like it's a Sunday, maybe they have something going on. But for the most part, that alone would come. My friends, there's probably a few of them that would come. But yeah, like I would get a good amount, and that's what sucks is I could bring more people into it as well. They're probably like, "Fuck it, dude. We don't need 10 more people just to have you in the ring." But that's
Fuck it,
$100,
If the money's right.
or that's more than 100. That's $150 for them. But
Thank you, Lee Warney.
I'm the I'm the meal ticket, baby. I'll bring people in.
Probably would.
Dude, and if they let me talk, dude, I could
Give me the mic.
give me the mic and let me recite to Timothy White. I could sit there and I could run promos like crazy, dude. I love running promos. I have no problem talking in front of people. I have no problem coming up with ideas. Because to be honest, let's say good or bad guy, all you gotta do is kind of like it's almost like rap battling. You just gotta kind of call people out and look out for their loose ends. Like, yeah, look at this guy. I don't know. I was gonna look at Paul the Fruitcake.
He's an Avenger. His real name's
It was Clarence. That's all you really have to do. But
I don't know. As far as deciding on whether it's worth it, you have to. We only know your side of the story.
well,
You got to look at it
the
as.
other side is just Crystal saying that
Yeah, we don't know what it is.
no, it's she's just getting burnt out taking me. She's got a lot going on, but like I said, what else am I gonna do? Because what sucks is it lines up with me going like, man, I don't know if I could do this. And then when she's like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't, it makes it easier for me to go, you know what? But I'm really trying to fight against that. I'm really trying to fight against.
I get it's a passion, but you got to look at how old you are, what you're really looking for as far as the outcome. Like, are you trying to get paid from this?
No.
If you're just trying to show up in shows and you're going to be spending $100 a month plus however much it is for gas to get out there. I don't
Well,
know, man.
that's-
If you're going to be doing that, I would definitely start looking to try and get paid. Like, if you're getting paid to do this, then that's cool. But if not, then I don't know, man. That's
Well, if let's say they did pay, it'd be once you became a wrestler. It wouldn't be just for showing up down there. You're paying $100 to get trained.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, if you are getting paid, then that $100 is fine because you're actually getting paid for something you're doing.
But you're paying for like Declan said, a CrossFit thing. That's what you're doing. I'm getting paid to exercise and to be trained.
I understand that, but if that turns into revenue somehow, like if
Right,
I were,
but
if
I'm
I
not-
were to like try and do gaming and like I was spending more money on like trying to get better software and better like games that help you with aiming and all that, I'm spending money on that. Like, it's okay as long as you're really trying to pursue something that's gonna at least return money on it.
I'm not looking at revenue though. That's the whole thing. I'm not looking about a return. My return is to be able to go wrestle in front of everybody and do something I wanted to do and cross it off my bucket list. Now that doesn't mean I want to do it one time. I wouldn't mind just again showing up to SPW once a month. If they got something for me, they got something for me. Hopefully my character would be so over. Because the thing is, move wise, it's a little different, but wrestling wise, I know a shit ton of wrestling history. That doesn't help, but I know a lot of matches and the way matches move, the way matches flow. I know the storytelling of wrestling and what you're supposed to do. So I have a lot to offer and a lot to put up. And it's hard when you go into this where I'm at now because I can't share none of this or I can't show that off. I can't show that I know how to tell a story until I start wrestling. Mm-hmm. But right now, we're just learning moves. And that's you're doing cardio and you're learning moves. That's it. And I'm not the greatest at learning the moves. And so it's really, that's what makes you want to quit. Is when you're trying to do stuff and you can't do it right and you're like, fuck, I just want to quit then. But I think logically that's the wrong way to think of things. I should think I'm going to do it again and I'm going to get it right. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it right. Instead of me going whatever. So I think ultimately I should still do it. But the bigger picture is my wife getting stressed out about it. So we're like, I told her they're doing a big anniversary show, I believe, in 2 months, 3 months, 2 months, 3 months. I definitely want to go during this one. I want to be in the academy during this one for sure to see how they do it. Like, who knows? They may ask me to come down there and be security because I saw some guys be security. If I'm not security, fine. I have no problem just sitting in the stands watching. No problem at all. But I want to see how it is to be part of the academy during a paper or whatever they call it, an event. Then on the big, I want to be there for their big celebration for their anniversary one. Who knows? They might have, guys have told me before that there's battle royals where they need like 30 guys in it or 20 guys. So they'll pull you up in there. But what sucks to me is you're going to just be in there for a second probably and get knocked out. But I need to bring my whole family and have them chant my name. So then everyone's like, wait a minute.
Wait, he isn't knocked out. By God.
Or wait a minute, maybe we should have kept him around a little bit. Look at the draw. Mm-hmm. So the plan
Come on, everybody.
So the plan, so what my plan is right now with what Crystal's going through and all that is at least finish this month and then look at when the anniversary comes. Try to stay into it within the anniversary. We'll see where everything's at then. And then if it's still rough and everything, you know, me getting the money, me talking to Crystal about it, her being there, then maybe I'll tell him, hey, I got to take a break or whatever. Or I might just say, is there anything I could do for the company? Because there's guys that do editing. There's guys that videotape. Just so I need to be out there. I need to be doing something. I need to have an agenda. This isn't my agenda now. Before I used to not have nothing to do. Now I have something to do. These weeks have been really hard. Like I've been texting you out of nowhere going bored. I'm just like fucking bored. So at least on Mondays and Wednesdays, much as it hurts, I'm got a reason to get out. I have an agenda and I'm accomplishing things because I'm actually working out and running and doing things or whatever. So I think that's the plan, and we'll see. I mean, time will tell. I'll end up talking about it on here. I might get one of the guys to come on here with us and talk to him just about the experiences. We'll just see what guy I could be cool with, which one will be my homie, and talk to them about their experience and what all it's been like.
So I think for you, deep down, if you look at it, if you're able to cover the $100 for the class plus however much it is for the 4 trips there and back for gas.
Well, the thing is too, our car is really good. We have a hybrid. It's really good. But I know what you're saying. It's still going to cost money. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
As long as you can cover that, then you would have a shot at it again. Like, for me, being like 31 and like dedicating time to something that's going to cost money and time, not only like the 2 hours to train, but the 2 hours there and back, like, to do it for fun, I don't know. But if you're doing this to try and get somewhere with it, then yeah, sure, go for it. Like, again,
Well,
if you
like
can
I said,
cover the expenses.
I want to get to just being able to wrestle for them. I'm not, but the whole thing is, and I explained that to my trainer. My whole thing is just I want to wrestle for you guys. I don't want to go to WWE. It's not in the cards. If I was even younger, I still probably wouldn't, because it's hard. Because let's say they offer you a good amount of money, but I know too much about wrestling that you get fucked over a lot. I mean, there was a super crazy, a Mexican wrestler. He was getting $500 a show at SmackDown, and he couldn't afford to drive to each event to perform. And you got to pay for your car, you got to pay for your hotel, you got to pay for a lot. So if you're not a big name, you're not. He left WWE. He left, even though he was getting paid, but he was getting paid so low, it wasn't worth it. So for me, it'd be about being on the road, of course. This is, again, if I was younger, not right now. And then also that I would only go to like higher indies, like somewhere like Ring of Honor or something like that. But I think I would stay below the mainstream no matter what. But this one is just something that if I could go, this is a cool family. The SPW family seems to be really chill, and it's something they do once a month. So I literally would only have to wait for a month to do stuff. And who knows, in between, I don't know what they do. I don't know. So there might be other things. But from what I can see, it's just once a month type of thing. Maybe you have to help out with the academy or whatever. But that's my end goal. Yes, it is to have like so much fun, but it's to have somewhat fun, of course. But there's work along the way. Definitely work. And I think even wrestling is work. But at the end of the day, aren't all these guys trying to have fun? Like, do they go in there going like, let's I want to go into the ring and like not have fun, just work? Because I've watched a lot of these guys wrestle and they're having a ball.
Then there's the guys that are probably that are probably going to be there for a couple of years and they don't get a show.
No, I'm talking about the guys in the shows.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean they're going there. I've talked to guys that do the shows, and they're like,
probably because their hard work has paid off, and now they're at that stage.
I mean,
and I'm sure not every day is going to be a fucking ball during practice.
Well, but I'm saying past that, when they like, their whole point is to get to the place where they get to enjoy wrestling and have fun and enjoy entertaining people and do all that. Like that's their goal, I would think. I think it'd be weird to talk to everyone in my class and say, what's your goal? And they're like, to get great at wrestling, and that's about it. But for me, it'd be like, yeah, you want to be a better wrestler, but you want to eventually enjoy what you do, have fun, put on a show for these kids and everybody, and make people enjoy being there and having a good time or whatever, make it worth it for them. I don't know, maybe that's my problem, and that might be where my crossroads where I end up falling off, is maybe I'm going to be in the wrong. They're going to say, no, you just need to be into learning wrestling and that's it. No fun. And if that's the case, I'm not going to want to do it, because my whole thing is, I get there's work, but I think you should enjoy what you're doing.
So you can have fun while doing it, or are you doing it for fun is my question. See what I'm saying? Like, you said you're doing it for fun, you want to do a show, but like for me, again, I'm looking at it from like the greater picture. It's like you're taking time, you're also putting your body in at risk. I don't know, you're trying to do it for fun. So again, I think your dilemma was, or the question in the beginning is it worth it? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, like for me, I'm still catching up on bills, so that's another extra $100 that I'm not going to have during the month. Now, $100 may not be that much, but again, it's like...
it's a lot. But like I said, for me we're going to go back to my mental health. This goes back to me getting out. This goes back to me socializing, because me losing the building, I lost a lot of people, and I had a really horrible, depressing time. Not having it, and not having a Thursday night to call everybody, a Friday night not to call everybody, to try to meet up. And if we met up, it was cool. But even if they didn't, I still reached out and talked to people. Once it's over, there's no point in calling anybody. I try to just to make friends still. But that's what, when I talked to my therapist, psychiatrist, he was saying that you need to find something where you're with like-minded people. And I'm like, this may be a good thing. This may be perfect. I was thinking, because these people all enjoy it like I enjoy it. And they also all want to do what I want to do, is get in the ring and get there and put on shows for people. I'm definitely going to be a totally different person than a lot of these people, because they're all small. So they're all going to be flippy dippy people or quicker people. I'm a big guy. I'm going to do big guy stuff, big guy moves. Not huge big show moves, but I'm not going to be a luchador, basically. But that's going back to the mental health aspect. Now, if I quit and go away from this, I'm going to feel something about quitting. It's going to fuck up my mind. But who knows? I may have to, just for the sake of my wife. But also losing an environment to get out and to go to, I'm going to need to find a replacement for that. Mentally, for my mental state, I'm gonna have to find something to replace that.
I feel like there's things like around here that you could do for free, but again, it like I was trying to say is like, if you can afford that and the time and the extra cost for gas, then yeah, go for it. But for me,
well, like I said, the plan is for sure this month finish out, because I'm going to pay tomorrow, because I'm already in one day of this month, so it'd be fucked up even to quit. But regardless, I'm going to miss already Wednesday, so it's whatever. So pay for this month, and then look at their anniversary stuff, and then while I do this month, see how well me and Crystal can work it, if she can do homework or whatever. The biggest problem is Logan being with us for those 4 hours. My son's getting dragged around, so that's the biggest thing. For me, of course, my wife, but I think about my son being stuck in the car and stuff. So I think this month is going to be a big test. And then after that, whatever happens this month, I'll either decide to not do it, or if I decide not to do it, I might look to see how far the anniversary show is and be like, I'm just going to quit after the anniversary show, or take a break and say, hey, talk to them, say, hey, and explain to them straight up, my main trainer, what's going on, the money, the drive.
I'll tell you right now, they're probably not going to care.
They may not, but I'm going to explain to them what, and then also what can I do to help out in the meantime. Like, I can show up to the Elk Grove shows and do things, hand out flyers, fucking do whatever the fuck, be just security, whatever, just so I can put some kind of a stamp on there and keep connected with them to be a part of something. Like I said, I'm really trying to be part of something, because at this age, everybody usually already is a part of something. They have their work, they have their work friends. I don't have none of that. I don't have a job. I don't have anything like that. So I don't know. We'll see. So next time, I don't know, maybe next month I'll have more of an idea and I'll bring it back here and talk about it. But for now, I got to figure out dinner. And my son and I already walked by and grabbed some fruit snacks. So that means it's time for dinner. And yeah, appreciate you and Declan's insight, but we'll just have to see.
But I'm not going to listen to your advice. I'm just kidding.
No, I get what you guys are saying, but I think ultimately, like, me and Crystal argued over it today. It's going to come down to us coming to an agreement. So I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, that is it. Thank you for listening. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share. Check us out on all the different platforms for dude, I hear you hella breathing like Vader.
Sorry.
I still hear it. All the other platforms we're on. Make sure you check out Best There Is podcast. We do it at the end of the month. So far, I know we're picking up a lot of juicy DC movie stuff coming out. That was announced, so that will be talked about for sure. Hopefully, we'll get some more stuff to talk about. But until then, we will talk to you later. Thank you, and as Adam said, bye.